All right, guys. Game of the week. We have Drew in 1, Randall on 2, John on 3, and Mick on 4. Good luck. Let's get started. Drew, your question. Frank Welker originated the role of Fred Jones in the 1969 premiere of which American animated series? The series creators rejected titles such as Mysteries 5 and Who's Scared before settling on the titular protagonist.
Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Yep, right. Hold on one second. I'm going to start sharing sound before I forget. I forgot about that.
Sure.
All right, you're next. Running up the score or piling on is a sports strategy where a competitor continues to add additional points even after the outcome of the game is decided. In a non-sporting context, James Holzhauer was notable for running up the score during his run on a game show, continuing to make aggressive wagers even after it was clear that the game was a runaway victory. In which game show did Holzhauer run up his score, one whose name ironically originates in the Old French for an evenly divided game?
Jeopardy.
Correct. All right, Randall, your turn. In which 1994 film does Christopher Walken play the part of Captain Coons, a war veteran, returning a family heirloom to a young boy named Butch? The scene then cuts to the now adult Butch, being played by Bruce Willis, suddenly waking up from sleep.
Pulp Fiction.
Correct. And you're next. This is a lightweight cotton fabric with typically patterned texture, used primarily for summer clothing such as pants, shorts, lungi, dresses, and jackets. What fabric is this that carries the former name of a southern Indian city? The city is speculated to have gotten its name from either the head of a village settlement or from a church whose name would translate to Mother of God. $10 seconds.
Madras.
That's right. All right, and John. What's it going to be then, eh? That was me, that is Alex, and my 3 Drews, that is Pete, Georgie, and Dim being really dim. And we sat in the blank, making up Resudocs, what to do with the evening, a flip dark chill winter bastard through dry. These are the opening lines from 1962 dystopian novel adapted into a 1971 film by Stanley Kubrick. What is redacted? And I need the blank.
Milk bar.
I will prompt you on that.
No, pass.
Morocco.
I will prompt you on that.
Morocco bar.
No. Drew?
Cordoba Milk Bar.
No. Randall?
Happy to pass.
Sitting on the post. I'm going to show it to you just to make sure that I did the right thing. So, Korova Milk Bar, is it? And it says prompt on Moloko or Milk Bar or Moloko Plus. So.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. And John. Identify the person being portrayed by Kathy Bates in the scene from Midnight in Paris, who was, among other things, a prominent art collector. Seen behind her on the wall is a portrait of this person by Picasso, and there's a little video clip, so hold on.
Tender, I read your rewrite, and you're nicely on the right track. You've understood me clearly. If the rest of the book reads as well when you're done, you'll have something of value.
That is the best news. I really did listen to you, so I'm happy to hear that it seems like I'm, moving forward. I mean, it just means the world to me that you...
Hemingway read the chapters, too, and he thinks it's going to be a fine book, but he did have one plot suggestion.
What was his suggestion?
Well, he doesn't quite believe that the protagonist doesn't see that his fiancée is having an affair right before his eyes.
With?
The other character, the pedantic.
Gertrude Stein.
You got it. Okay, Mick, your turn. Launched in 2019, which streaming service was set up as a means to stop relying on video platforms such as YouTube? Featuring a galaxy of creators such as Legal Eagle and Philosophy Tube, the service has become a hub for educational content that may be censored on YouTube, example topics like sexuality, and it even has an option to sign up for classes.
Blue Star.
No, it's not. Randall?
Pass.
John?
Pass.
Drew?
Nebula.
Nebula is correct. All right, and Mick. According to Billboard, what term defines an artist that cracks the top 40 on the Billboard Hot 100 and never makes it back to that position?
One hit wonder.
That's right. Right, wraps up round one. Drew, it's back to you. This is a pattern cloth with crossing horizontal and vertical bands in multiple colors, forming simple or complex rectangular patterns. It originated in a woven wool, but is now made in other materials with patterns associated with clans or families in Scotland. What kind of cloth is this?
A tartan.
Tartan is correct. And you're next. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. The Making of X is a book whose title is taken from a memorable line in a movie where an enforcer instructs his accomplice to leave the gun and take the cannoli. In a perfect pitch moment of black humor, identify X, and I will expand the picture so you know exactly what.
The Godfather.
All right. I just didn't want you to get confused with like wanting the author or something like that. Anyway, here you go. Randall. Which American screen icon who won first position in this car at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1979? Appropriately, he voiced the character of Doc Hudson in the 2006 animated film Cars.
Paul Newman.
Correct. And you're next. Author Lenore Israel's 2008 autobiography, adapted into the 2018 film of the same name starring Melissa McCarthy as Israel, told the story of resorting to a criminal activity in order to restart her writing career. The activity was discovered when a dealer realized that something he had bought from her was supposed to be in a university archive. What was her crime for which she was in federal probation for 5 years?
Forgery.
I will prompt you on that.
She was forging documents, signatures.
I'll prompt you once more.
That were written by other people.
Okay, let it play through. And then John,
Pass.
Mick,
Pass.
Andrew.
Counterfeiting letters.
The key word is letters there. So I'm going to show it to you guys. You guys can. Okay. So the key was forged letters of famous people. Any write of forged famous people's letters is acceptable. So.
Is that what it says in the blue box? Memoirs of Forged Letters?
I don't know. So this is like, I'm okay giving it to Randall, but I want.
I'm okay giving it to Randall too. I think that's I think that's sufficient.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And John.
Thanks.
Identify this artist seen here in her studio opposite her painting Nunscape at Manzanillo. The British-born painter lived with Max Ernst in France, and following World War II, she married Mexican diplomat Renato Leduc and eventually settled in Mexico.
Leonora Carrington.
Correct.
I think it's her birthday. Or yesterday.
In cricket, an extension of running up the score would be a batsman choosing to retire out when they feel they've scored enough runs without any injury or illness in place. Only twice has it happened in Test cricket's history, and that too in the same game, with Marvin Attupatu 201 runs and Mahila Jayawardena 150, retired against which team in 2001? This was the second meeting of the two sides in all international. 10 seconds.
Pakistan.
Incorrect. Randall. I'm guessing you said pass. Mick?
Bangladesh.
This is correct. All right. And Mick, your turn. Farhad Hakimzadeh was a millionaire businessman and publisher who was a known collector of rare books. In 2009, he pled guilty to crimes committed at the Bodleian Library and the British Library. The damages at the British Library alone were estimated to be around £71,000, and staff believed he carried a scalpel to carry them out. What was his crime?
Okay.
And okay with descriptive answers. Ten seconds.
Is he stealing pages?
We're stealing pages, cutting out the pages from the thing. That's what I did. All right. Okay, and Mick. The Big Goodbye is a book about 1970s Hollywood, especially focusing on which movie about corruption, police complicity, and money.
Chinatown?
Correct. All right, 2 rounds. It's a pretty close game. Drew, it's back to you. The line of Panamanian rum has a chocolate-flavored cacao offering and the owner's reserve rum. The artist's 8 songs have reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and his concert tours are some of the highest grossing in history. He has received 15 Grammy Awards. Who, with a fitting surname that may remind you of outlandish chocolates? Sorry, what did you say?
Me going as I think about what this clue could possibly entail.
Ten seconds.
Outlandish chocolates.
I need an answer, please.
Pitbull.
No. Randall?
Bad Bunny.
Nope. John?
Pass.
Mick?
Pass.
Well, apparently it was supposed to be Outlandish Chocolates is Mars and it's Bruno Mars.
Oh.
Yeah, that was that.
Needed more clues about gambling issues.
All right, Drew, it's back to you. Which British sporting great became the first summer Olympian to participate in the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2016? While his results at the race were disappointing, he remains the second most decorated Olympic cyclist of all times, with 6 golds and a silver.
Jones?
No. John?
Chris Hoy?
Chris Hoy is correct, yes. All right, and Randall. What is the name of the establishment in Pasadena where Penny worked as a waitress to pay her bills, where Leonard, Sheldon, Raj, and Howard often go to eat in the Big Bang Theory? David M. Overton, the company's founder, opened the first restaurant in Beverly Hills, California in 1978.
Huh.
Ten seconds.
California Pizza Kitchen.
Nope. John?
Pass.
Mick?
Pass.
Drew?
The Cheesecake Factory?
The Cheesecake Factory is correct, yes. All right, and Randall. This genre derives its name from the eponymous band led by Bill Monroe in the 1940s, in turn named after the Poa pratensis, a perennial species. It is traditionally played exclusively on acoustic instruments and also has roots in traditional English, Scottish, and Irish ballads and dance tunes. What musical style is this?
Bluegrass.
Bluegrass. John. This is also called a Vichy check and is a medium weight balanced plain woven fabric, typically with striped or checked duotone patterns in bright color and in white, made from dyed cotton or cotton blend yarns. What kind of cloth is this? Getting its name from the Malay adjective meaning striped.
Gingham?
Gingham's right. All right, and your next one, John. Which 1946 American film, directed by William Wyler, is about 3 U.S. servicemen readjusting to societal changes and civilian life after coming home from World War II? Not only did Harold Russell win the Best Supporting Actor Oscar for this film, he also received an honorary Oscar, a unique achievement in Oscar history.
Pass.
Randall?
Best Years of Our Lives.
Yes. All right, Mick. Gertrude Stein and Pablo Picasso are discussing the merits of a painting. While Adriana is fictional, the painting is a real one by Picasso, titled what?
I was just telling Pablo that this portrait doesn't capture Adriana. It has a universality, but no objectivity.
Non, 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 vous ne le comprenez pas correctement. Vous connaissez pas Adriana. Regardez les mouvements, le tableau. C'est exactement ce qu'il la représente.
Non, tu n'as pas raison. Look how he's done her. Dripping with sexual innuendo, carnal to the point of smoldering. And yes, she's beautiful, but it's a subtle beauty, an implied sensuality. I mean, what is your first impression of Adriana?
Weeping Woman.
Nope. John?
Pass.
Randall? Are you passing? Okay.
Pass, yeah.
All right, Drew?
Pass, please.
This is
Not
what were we saying?
See the Bather or something like that? No.
Yeah, there's Lebanese or the Bathers, yeah. All right, Mick. This gin comes from the man who surely wrote the most famous song about gin and juice as a second single from his debut album Doggy Style in 1993. This laid-back California-style gin is infused with the strawberry flavor. Which musician is behind this gin?
Calvin Brodus Jr.
Stop flexing, I'll give it to you though. All right, Drew. Which 1993 film features Christopher Walken as a mafia boss and Dennis Hopper as a retired cop who sacrifices himself to save his son from the mob? Quentin Tarantino wrote the script and eventually sold the screenplay to finance his debut film.
Hard Boiled?
No. John?
Pass.
Randall?
True Romance.
True Romance. All right, and Drew. Henry IV, Part 1, Act 2, Scene 4, Shakespeare. Scene 4, The Blank. Eastcheap, enter Prince Henry and Prince Henry, Ned, Prithee, come out of that fat room and lend me thy hand to laugh a little. Points. Where has been hell, Prince Henry, with 3 of our 4 loggerheads among 3 or 4 score hogsheads? I have sounded the very bass string of humility. The name of which pub is redacted?
Let's call this, let's invent the name, the Fatted Calf.
No.
Pass.
Mick.
Pass.
Randall. This is a boar's head.
Hmm.
All right. Randall. Launched in 2006, which streaming service first gained popularity as a place for fans to upload subtitled episodes of East Asian content, especially anime shows? Fans suggest its name could be a pun meaning footage to chew on, or to cuisine originating from the region whose content it specializes in.
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll is correct. All right, and you're next. Which sport allows the unique rule of allowing the badly losing team to concede a match at any time in order to prevent running up the score or a blowout? The sport has a strong connection with the Scottish island Ailsa Craig. Did you say something, Randall?
No, just panicking.
8 seconds.
I don't know. Hurling.
John?
Curling.
Curling is correct, yes. So, all right. And that's where they had they quarry the curling stones from. I think that's the thing we have.
Yeah, oh, that's what it is. Okay.
All right, and John. One of the more gimmicky celebrity spirits, the brand claims the whiskey is aged using a black noise sonic enhancement process, meaning the band's music is literally blasted at the resting barrels. What all-time great heavy metal band is this whose concert in Antarctica was appropriately titled Freeze 'Em All?
Metallica.
All right, and you're next. Which widely panned 2003 film starring Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez features a cameo by Christopher Walken as a pie-loving detective? The film was a massive flop, grossing a mere $7.2 million against a budget of $75.6 million. The film's title happens to be the Italian word for lilies and is a type of pasta often confused with the campanile.
Conchili.
No. Okay, Mick?
Jiggly.
Yeah, I think it's Gili, but I'll give it to you. All right, and Mick. Named after a product which was invented when a dairyman in New York State failed in his attempt to recreate the French cheese Neufchâtel, which iconic brand is currently owned by Kraft Heinz and Mondelez International? The brand name includes the name of a 1994 Oscar-winning city.
I'm sure it's dreadful, whatever it is.
Happened in Australia too, Mick. That's good. Ten seconds. I need an answer, Mick. Are you passing?
No. Yeah.
All right, John,
Philadelphia cheese.
I will prompt you.
Oh well. Over here, it's in big packages that just say Philadelphia, so I don't know any more than that.
Drew?
Philadelphia cream cheese.
Yeah, it's cream cheese. So, all right, and Mick. What musical style uses Indian folk tunes, movie tunes, and even bhajans or religious songs over a fast calypso or soca-based beat? It is popular among the South Indian diaspora of Trinidad, Guyana, and Suriname.
Okay. I think this is something else. Zouk.
No. Randall?
Agra.
Nope. John
Pass.
and Drew.
Pass.
So I was like, the answer was part is in the question itself, but the thing I needed was chutney soca. It's soca, but chutney soca specifically. Yeah. But the key word was chutney there. All right. And end of round 4. And Drew, it's back to you. This artist went to Paris from her native Anglais in Catalonia, and after the 1940 German occupation of Paris, she escaped to Mexico, where she lived for the rest of her life. Identify this artist of works such as La Llamada, The Call, whose mother named her in the honor of patron Saint Anglais, the Virgin of Remedies.
No, Perez.
No? John?
Remedios Vara.
Remedios Vara. Yes. All right, Andrew. What phone number is referenced in the Tommy Two-Tone one-hit wonder of the 1980s? This one-hit wonder caused people who actually had that landline number change their number because of the volume of bogus calls inspired by the song. Alternatively, provide the number's fictitious owner, or you could sing it as well as an alternative.
I would hate for this video to get demonetized. Jenny?
Oh, that's fine. I was hoping you...
8675309.
Yeah. All right, and Randall. Who provided the voice for the Joker on Batman, the animated series? His most famous role was as a protagonist in a trilogy that began in the late 1970s, for which he trained with swordmaster Bob Anderson.
Mark Hamill.
Correct. And you're next. Which 2006 movie by Florian Henkel von Donnersmarck is about the monitoring of East Berlin residents by agents of the Stasi, East Germany's secret police? The film won the 2006 Oscar for Best Foreign Film.
The Lives of Others.
Got it. All right, and John. Available from 2016, which appropriately named streaming service shows original and non-original films, TV shows, and documentaries only in the horror, thriller, and supernatural genres. Every Halloween, it releases 1 hour long videos of burning jack-o'-lantern pictured here.
Right, no.
No. Mick.
Pass.
Drew?
Butter.
Chatter is correct, yes. All right, and John. What 2000's one-hit wonder like Culinary featuring Crazy Bone starts with the line, "They see me rolling, they hating," and discusses themes of policing and racial profiling. This song was parodied by Weird Al Yankovic in the video in White and Nerdy.
Pass.
Mick.
Pass.
Randall?
I'm gonna pass.
And Drew?
Riding
That
dirty.
is correct, yep. All right, and Mick. Who on a boat in Xochimilco, Mexico is seen in this 1936 photo?
Frida Kahlo.
And you're next.
Pretty straightforward compared to the others.
The Chatsubo is described as a bar for professional expatriates where one could drink for a beer and never hear 2 words in Japanese. The Chatsubo appears in which 1984 sci-fi novel that won the Nebula Award, the Philip K. Dick Award, and the Hugo Award? It's the first part of the Sprawl trilogy.
Hmm.
And second,
84.
I need an answer, Mike.
Kafka on the Shore. I've no fucking idea.
Okay, Randall?
Neuromancer?
Neuromancer is correct, yes. All right, wraps up 5 rounds, and Drew, it's back to you. Which classic Polish cheesecake stems from the old Christian and Jewish traditions and is made with ice, sugar, and twaroג, a type of curd cheese. It is thought to have been brought back from Vienna after the defeat of the Turks and adapted using local ingredients.
Pass.
Mike,
Pass.
John,
Pass.
Randall.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, this is a toughie. It's called Cernik.
Oh.
Hmm.
All right, Andrew. Stephen Bloomberg's interest in Victorian architecture led him to commit a crime that is believed to be the largest of its kind in U.S. history. A division of the Association of College and Research Libraries and a library security expert helped capture the FBI firm. What was his crime, which a library called a betrayal of a trust system?
Is he the guy that leaked all of the JSTOR documents?
No. Is that your answer? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the answer, yeah.
Okay. And Mick,
Pass.
John,
Pass.
and Randall.
Pass, but I would non-com guess that he inserted books into the library.
No, he stole rare books. That was what we were looking for. So the keywords were rare and stole, I guess.
Wow.
All right.
Yep,
This-
we're all overthinking that one.
Well, the first one was super odd. I mean, it was, yeah. Anyway, Randall. In this scene from Midnight in Paris, which artist is Adrian Brody playing? The artist has created several works inspired by the rhinoceros.
The waiters, no. You like the shape of the rhinoceros?
The rhinoceros? No, I haven't really thought about it.
I paint the rhinoceros. I paint you. See, your sad eyes and big lips melting over the hot sand with one tear. Yes, and in your tear, another face. The Christ face. Yes, and the rhinoceros.
All right, clock started.
Salvador Dali.
Yep. All right, and Randall. The Disaster Artist, My Life Inside X, the greatest bad movie ever made, is a 2013 nonfiction book written by Greg Sestero and Tom Bissell. Cicero details the troubled development and production of which 2003 cult film dubbed the Citizen Kane of bad movies. Shown is a poster from the book's adaptation.
The Room.
Okay, and John. Which American TV star took second position in class at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2015? He is best known for his role as neurosurgeon Derek McDreamy Shepherd in Grey's Anatomy.
Pass.
Mick.
Pass.
Randall?
Patrick Dempsey?
Patrick Dempsey. All right, and John. Created in 1990 by Santiago Rivera of the La Vina restaurant, it is a crustless dessert baked at a high temperature to give its signature look. Which popular dessert named after an autonomous community are we talking about?
Creme Catalan.
Mick?
Pass.
Drew?
Like Basque style cheesecake.
Yeah, Basque cheesecake. I forgot the 1990 and I fell for the same trap and said creme catalana. I was so freaking mad at myself.
Mm.
So I forgot it was the cheesecake quad altogether. All right.
Oh
And
yeah, oh yeah.
Mick. Tom Kenny plays the protagonist of which beloved animated show? It has been running since 1999. Incidentally, his wife Jill Talley voices a character Karen, a waterproof supercomputer married to the show's primary antagonist.
Hmm.
Ten seconds.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
All right, and you're next. Which 2023 American movie follows two childhood friends, Na Young and Hae Sung, over the course of 24 years while they contemplate the nature of their relationship as they grow apart? Nominated for the Best Picture at the Oscars, the film was the featured directorial debut of Celine Song.
Yeah, it's that one. I don't think it's gonna come. Songbird.
No. John?
Past lives.
Mick, I told you
That's
to
the one.
watch this movie. You didn't listen to me and see it cost you a point. All right,
When
and
have I ever listened to you? It's probably rubbish, so I'm probably in front.
all right, it's being recorded. Drew. Launched in 2018, Dropout provides original comedy and games programming. The service was launched after the original creators largely went off YouTube when the main investors of their parent company withdrew funding. The name Dropout is a direct and ironic reference to which popular website, which shut down as a result of this funding crunch to give way to game service.
College humor.
College humor. And Drew. Which 1988 British film by Terence Davies and starring Pete Postlethwaite evokes working class family life in Liverpool during the 1940s and early 1950s. The film is made up of two separate films shot 2 years apart, but with the same cast and crew. And the film's forward title also uses the same formula of putting the titles of each part one after the other.
Separate lives, other lives.
No. Mick.
Pass.
John?
Pass.
Randall?
Distant Voices, Still Lives.
Yes. All right, Randall, your dress. In the late 1980s, which one-hit wonder tells the story of a resilient person who keeps rising after adversity? Oh, Danny boy, the image shows a recipe inspired by the 4 alcoholic ingredients repeated in the song. Ten seconds.
Smash Mouth.
No. Mick?
Tub Thumping.
Yeah.
By Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba, yeah. I didn't need that. I just needed Chuck Thumping. All right, Randall. The name of which inn in The Lord of the Rings is blanked out in this plaque at the Bell Inn? Here, Frodo tries on the one ring, attracting the attention of Sauron's spies. You want me to expand it?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
No, I'll just pass.
Okay, Mick,
Pass.
John,
Prancing Pony.
the Prancing Ponies.
Oh.
All right, and John. Aaron Swartz is a US-based hacktivist, was a fierce proponent of keeping information open access on the internet. In 2012, he was prosecuted for a number of federal computer crime-related offenses in an attempt that was criticized by many as overzealous, disproportionate, and Nixonian. What activity involving a certain journal storage was he being prosecuted for?
Oh. What's it called?
10 seconds.
Hacking into that database which stores research papers that I can't remember the name of.
Okay, I need an answer though. I'm going to have to pass. Okay.
Pass.
Mick.
Yeah. I
Sorry,
can't remember the name.
Okay, Drew.
This is hacking into JSTAR.
That's right. I was
Yes.
like, it's time to recycle Drew's answer, and I was like trying to keep my best poker face. So, all right. And John. Blood, Sweat, and Chrome is a book about the making of the latest release movie in which iconic franchise set in a post-apocalyptic and dystopian future. The series began in 1979 and released its latest installment in 2015.
You want to scroll down?
Sorry, yeah.
Series.
I need an answer.
Blade Runner.
No. Mick?
Mad Max.
Yeah. All right, and Mick. Characterized by neutral colors and rectangular patterns, this elaborate embroidered cloth made of raffia, palm leaf fiber, comes from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where men and women alike wear skirts made from the fabric during traditional ceremonies such as weddings and funerals. What is the cloth called, which phonetically may remind you of the country home to the smallest bird in the world?
Cuba.
Yeah. Cuba with a K, but yeah, nicely done. All right.
Be humble.
And Mick. The U.S. women's team faced accusations of running up the score during their 13-0 win over the opposition in the 2019 World Cup. Players even celebrated their later goals as the opposition players were crying. Which Asian country were their opposition? Make the picture big. Tell me when you want me to go back to the text.
Okay.
That's the biggest I can do.
Oh yeah, can we?
Sorry, what did you say? Yeah, I just need the
Yes.
T.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Thailand.
Yeah, you got it. All right, and Drew. With whom is Jill Pender Owen Wilson having this conversation in Midnight in Paris? The person had once remarked, "My writing is nothing, my boxing is everything." Author of several works considered to be modern-day classics, the person wasn't much of a boxer, though.
Yeah, it's like 400 pages long, and I'm just looking just for, just an opinion.
My opinion is I hate it.
I mean, you haven't even read it.
If it's bad, I'll hate it because I hate bad writing. If it's good, I'll be envious and hate it all the more. You don't want the opinion of another writer.
Yeah, it's just, you know what it is? It's just, I'm having a hard time, trusting somebody to evaluate it.
Writers are competitive.
I'm not going to be competitive with you.
You're too self-effacing. It's not manly. If you're a writer, declare yourself the best writer. But you're not as long as I'm around, unless you want to put the gloves on and settle it.
All right.
Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah. And you're next. What musical style that had its peak from the 1890s to 1910s is seen as a precursor to jazz? Its distinctive trait is its syncopated or X rhythm. It gives its name to a 1981 American drama film directed by Milos Forman, based on the 1975 historical novel the same name as this genre by E.L. Doctorow.
Ragtime.
And Randall. This famed heavy metal band teamed up with a well-regarded Virginia craft distillery called Cat Coton for a limited run rye. Bottles were topped with cast metal corks featuring distinctive headgear of each of the 5 members of the band. ID the band, whose title doesn't actually stand for anything despite popular belief. Instead, the shortened version of the band's original name. Let me know when you want me to go back to the text.
Go back to the question, thanks. Sorry, Jayanthi. There it goes.
8 seconds.
War?
Yep. All right, and Randall. As to December 2023, CNN article describes her as a surrealist and a model who posed for Vogue and sat for Pablo Picasso and Man Ray, a war photographer who embedded with the US military to chronicle the harrowing events of World War II and posed defiantly in Hitler's bathtub on the day of his death. Which Academy Award-winning actress portrayed this person in a 2023 biopic? Ten seconds.
Oh. Hillary Swank.
Nope. Mick?
Pass.
John?
Pass.
Drew?
Pass, please.
Apparently, Kate Winslet as leader in the film Lead. Okay. And John. Hank Azaria has provided the voice for several major characters on The Simpsons, including Moe the bartender and Police Chief Wiggum. In 2020, he announced his decision to step down from voicing the role of which Indian shopkeeper, influenced by Hari Kondabalu's 2017 documentary, The Problem with Blank, which dealt with the issues of white actors playing South Asians as stereotypes.
Who?
Yep. And you're next. This is one of the earliest style of rock and roll music. It dates back to the early 1950s in the US, especially the South, with names like Elvis Presley, Stray Cats, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, Bill Haley and the Comets, and Buddy Holly being the biggest in the genre. It blends the sound of Western musical styles such as country with that of rhythm and blues. What musical style, whose name is a portmanteau, involving a term referring to country music?
Pass.
Right?
Pass.
Randall?
Rockabilly?
Rockabilly. All right, last 2 questions, and these are for you, Mick. Which English drummer achieved consecutive podium finishes in his class at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1979 and 1980? He's the only member of Pink Floyd to have appeared on every single album since their formation in 1964.
Don't think he's a drummer, but Roger Waters.
No, it's not. John?
Taylor.
No. Drew?
Pass.
Randall?
No, I don't think he's the drummer either, but I'll say Mason.
Mason's right. It's Nick Mason. That gets you the point. All right. And last question for you, Mick. In 1977, in which 1977 film does Christopher Walken play the role of Dwayne, a young man who fantasizes about deliberately crashing into another car? He describes his fantasy to Alvy Singer, the boyfriend of the film's title character, a sprawling tale called Anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure, was the original vision for the film, starring Alvy Singer reflecting on all the loves in his life.
No, pass.
Annie Hall?
Annie Hall. That's the game. Congratulations, Randall. Hold on, let me stop recording.